Hello, everyone. I welcome you all for the third day of Early Childhood Education Conference, and we are meeting online. But I am privileged to have you all here, and I sincerely thank you for all your time that you are dedicating to us. It has been a tremendous response that we have received for last 2 days, and today is our last and yet another important day of this conference. So I would like to give you some information about what is CCE and why we are doing this conference, and let me take you through this small presentation. So you can see that our mission statement is redefining education through creativity. And Council for Creative Education has been always at the forefront of leading about creativity in education. We believe in two principles basically. Everyone is creative by default, and then creativity is not only in arts and crafts. Now, these facts are all well received, but we still see that there are many hindrances in putting it into practice. So now CCE is here to help you all in putting these principles into practice. How? So we have our different programs, and we have a good network of collaborators. As you can see here, we work with universities, governments, schools, companies, and other partners. And we believe that Finland is a very good model for embedding creativity into education, but we are open to all the different excellent ideas that we can receive through across the globe, and that's why we have many initiatives like Creative 100. And the same initiative was also taken for this conference, and that was My Creative Preschools. So you have been listening to some very nice experiments carried out during the lockdown periods in various kinds of preschools. So today also we are going to see more about it. We are widespread in many countries, especially I would like to say that we have been receiving visitors for more than 50 countries, and we have our collaborators working in these countries where you can see the blue and green pins. Council for Creative Education is an official member of Education Finland, governed by Finnish National Agency for Education under Ministry of Education, Government of Finland. So we are ambassadors of Finnish education outside Finland. With that, we have received other accreditations like Design from Finland, the certificate for our Sisu box. Hiram told about it yesterday, and you can also write to us to know more about it. We have been awarded by the Visit Finland for our Finland education tour experiences. We are the member of Pino Networks, Education Tampere, and we have been like for our Sisu box, we have been into the first top 10 products for the JES award that is conducted in Dubai. This has been our journey so far. We have established in 2007 and started our operations from 2013. And the impact that we have created is like we could train total 14,500 plus teachers across the globe, including India, Nigeria, and also Curacao and USA, and the people who are coming to us are from all continents. They are coming to Finland to visit the schools. You all are heartily welcome to come to Finland after this corona pandemic gets over. We are very popular among the educators for all our activities that we do, mainly the trainings and workshops, where we have the programs like Diploma in Early Childhood Education, then we have the Educational Leadership Program, then create trainings for creative pedagogy. We have some trainings also for parents like Know Your Child. It's a very basic training from through which the parents will understand about how the child develops. And then we are bringing to you a new concept called eSISU School, and it is a novel concept that we are bringing up with our teachers and our administrative team. I will explain a bit more about it shortly. Then our symposiums on creative education. This is one of its kind and dedicated solely to the creativity in education. And so far, we have conducted 6 symposiums live, and then we had to shift towards the online conferences. So this is like the some of the glimpses from our symposiums. Now, our response to COVID, being an international organization, and we consider ourselves as social entrepreneurs, so we thought that it is our responsibility to help the educators and the parents who are stuck because of the COVID-19. So for that, we conducted a series of free webinars on various topics arranged by CC, and our CC experts also went on different forums to give the webinars on various kinds of topics. Our specialty was like we conducted a series of webinars specially dedicated to National Education Policy of India 2020. And we are taking it forward to 100,000 teachers for free with the help of some of our partners. So far, we have conducted 2 mega conferences online. One on the 21st of April, the name of the conference was Embrace the Creativity Amidst COVID-19 Crisis. We celebrated it with the University of USC. Our colleague Christoph from University of USC is today with us. And it got an overwhelming response. Similarly, we conducted another conference again in June. And it was a regional language conference, but again, we received a tremendous response for that. You can see the numbers on my slide. Now we are coming up with eSISU Preschool. The eSISU Preschool will begin in November, from 2nd of November, and you can enroll your child for the demo classes. Those demo classes will be conducted on 26th October, 28th October, 30th October. You can choose any of these dates, and the demo class will be for 1 hour from 10 to 10. We already have a registration form for the demo class. I request my team to put the link into the YouTube and on the FB where all of you are following us, so that you can enroll your child into it. We understand the importance of Connect. So we thought that why not to use our SISU school premises that we have in Pune. And it can be also done elsewhere. So if you have a kind of education facility which you would use like SISU EduConnect Center, you can also contact us and then we can further tell you how it can be done. But currently considering the Pune Center, I'm giving you some basic information. We thought that those who were there for yesterday's talk, where Lucas said that the play has to be real. So we also understand that concept thoroughly, and that's why we decided that our eSISU classes will be there on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, but then there can be some kind of EduConnect, like connection with the education in the SISU Center on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So how it will happen? So it's like a connect with real experience in a safe environment in the presence of education coordinator of that center. Social distancing norms will be followed thoroughly, and it will be a family time in a learning environment. 3 days in a week, strictly on appointment basis, and time slots will be allocated per family so that it will not be crowded. Your child will be safe, you will be safe, but still you can enjoy a kind of nice environment. You can see the picture there, it is from our Pune Center. You can also note down the contact details. You can contact Mrs. Nandita Savarkar, and her phone number is given there. So this is about CCE. And now let me also tell you a little bit more about what we have done in this COVID pandemic thing. So I'll just quickly take you to our books that we have published here. So we have published so far 3 books, and the first one is In Search of Creativity, a compilation of international studies, and it is available on Amazon as well as it is available on CCE's product page. We recently published our book Creativity in New Normal on the 5th October. That is the World's Teachers' Day. So you will also get it soon on Amazon.com and on CCE's page. We regularly declare offers on our various products on every Friday. So please subscribe to our newsletters so that you can get these Friday fantastic offers. This is the agenda for the day. So I have done the opening, and now Simran will talk about the creative preschools. After her, Christoph and his colleagues, Milla Salonen and Pirkko Karvonen, they will be talking about an excellent book coming up for the early childhood education in Finland. So do not miss it. And then our teacher, Tim Davis, he will talk about his experience of working in Finland as a preschool teacher. And then there will be paper presentation by Shilpa Gauriganpule from India. And then we have a creative preschool experience shared by Sparkle preschool teachers, Mrunal and Madhuri. And then we have yet another preschool experience shared by Nisha Belsare and Shilpa Gauriganpule. And then the floor will be open for the discussion, and then we will close for the day. So now I would like to invite Simran to give her discourse for the day about creative preschool. So the floor is yours, Simran.
Thank you so much, Shireen, and good evening, good afternoon, and greetings of the day to the entire audience and to all my team members and the panelists that we have. And thank you very much, Shireen, for opening the event for today. We are on day 3, and it has been a wonderful journey with our audience members, and they have been with us even when we were staying up late after the show, and we had such tremendous response. So we take a moment to thank each one of you, and Shireen has already told us what we are going to do today. So let's move on and carry on with the day. All right, so before I proceed, just a small information. The demo classes for eCISU preschools that Shireen already spoke about, these demo classes are free. So parents, educators out there, please note Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that is 26th, 28th, and 30th of the October are free. You can register, and we have already posted the link on the website, and kindly do fill up the form and register your child. All right, we've already gone through the agenda, and this is a little bit about me. I'm joining you this evening from Bangalore, India. I'm the communication head for ECE conference with CCE Finland for this particular conference, and I'm an educational strategist with 22 years of experience. I have been a training specialist with ECDF, NABT, and I have done various research publications, and I'm an invitee speaker. And I like to do some kind of innovations and in the education field, especially the early childhood education. So this was a little bit about me. And let's look at the theme of today. So the theme of today is creative preschool. Let's try to, when we say creative, we think about art, we think about music, but let's see what creativity means today. And we as educators, we as parents, what can we do differently about bringing out that creativity in the early years? So when Pablo Picasso was asked why his work improved as he grew older, he observed that it had taken him a lifetime to learn to draw as a child, and that every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once he grows up. What a wonderful thing, right? And so much to absorb and learn just by this very statement, correct? Even more to the point for educators is finding that children who are actively engaged in learner centered environments score higher on measures of creativity. This is a very interesting study done by Rushton and Larkin in 2001. Creative expression depends not on talent alone. I invite you to give me one moment of your attention to absorb the statement. Creative expression depends not on talent alone, but also on motivation, interest, effort, and opportunity. Development of musical talents, schools routinely use tests to identify children with musical aptitude, who then will have access to the school's limited musical instruction resources, while children who do not test well are excluded from this process to acquire musical performance skills. Now, as children mature, talent becomes less critical than families' financial resources, including their ability to afford instrument, private lessons, appropriate attire, and travel to musical performance and events. And that's where we as preschools come into picture, all right? Therefore, children need to experience a wide range of interesting activities in order to discover their particular creative assets. Now, let's look at this slide for a minute. Art, being who they are, being let free to imagine what they wish to do. So every child has the right to creative development. I need to draw your attention for a minute here, and we need to think that creativity or the time for creativity cannot be when they have done their routine activities. Usually the concept has become like that, where the routine of the day for a school is completed and then the creative development comes into picture. Creative process needs to be socially supported, culturally influenced, and collaboratively achieved. And children need to experience a wide range of interesting activities in order to discover their particular creative assets. History. Let's look at history behind this whole logic of developing and encouraging creativity in the early years. History is replete with examples of creative individuals who were not highly regarded by their teachers when they were students, yet nevertheless made monumental contributions to society as such. Right? We have heard these stories while even we were growing up. The appropriate role of an education unit or education house is to provide all children with post-thoughtfully designed experiences in creative representation beginning in early childhood. So we need to give them that forum, give them that time, give them that imagination, a space to imagine, to bring out their creativity. And while we as educators need to just go a little back, step a little back, and let them be the way they want to be creative and give them that little bit of space. Now, everybody, all of us will think, well, we do give space, but yet we are not doing enough. Let's see where are our challenges. So what kind of challenges do we have when we talk about creativity at a preschool level in early years? All right. Now, these challenges, when I touch upon, I'm just not talking to the educators in the audience or the teachers in the audience. I'm also talking to the parents here. And most of us will relate to what I will say next. What are our challenges when it comes to developing the creativity? Time? Yes, of course, because we are trying to do those quick projects, especially in schools. We try to limit it to the certain lesson plan, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. What about the materials? Yes, we are using inexpensive materials. Yes, because most of them have budget constraints, or we are always thinking, okay, he's just or she's just experimenting. Let me not put too much into it. So we are not using the correct materials sometimes. And sometimes at certain places, the materials are not supplied. Physical environment, yes, we are very, very concerned about being neat and tidy, about the cleanup process, we are not making sure that they are getting their hands in that paint and they are if they are doing the art activity or something like that. So are we giving, these are challenges. Sometimes we know about them and sometimes we probably see them, but we are not ready to accept them. And also the physical environment. We are very concerned about how the place is going to look. As I said, we are going to be neat or not, and also the presentation. So sometimes when we let children, like yesterday Lucas talked about the experiments that are happening, and when we are giving the children things to experiment, are we allowing that space for them to experiment, and are we also having that kind of a platform to display what they have done? So sometimes these are also our challenges where we don't have that much space. So I want to talk about creativity. That is, it is not a circular frill that we delete when the time is limited, nor is it the same thing as enrichment. Sometimes we have reserved that for those children who have already completed their required work. Creativity has to be the part of process. It has to be a part of our unlearning, to learn that this era, this child that we are trying to nurture, what are we expecting this child to become as an adult? Are we allowing that space? All right, so let's look at how we can make a difference. We, all of us, whether we are parents, we are educators, even if you're a student in this field, you can make a difference. You can make a difference by redefining creative teaching and confront misconceptions about creative thinking. And that's where our unlearning from the traditional methods happen, where we say, no, let's finish this first and then the creativity will come. We, all of us, have to remember our children have the right to have their interest and the abilities affirmed and nurtured. All children deserve opportunities for creative thought and expression. Also, we need to finally, educational institutes and larger societies in which they exist need to reflect deeply on what they hope the children will become. As I said, what do we want them to become when they are adults? Are we giving them the space to become that? Also, we need to have a global perspective. Now, when I was doing the study, and it was very interesting to know that in Bali, it is just obviously expected a child or the student to know how to sing, dance, share stories, craft objects, and so forth. And they are not chosen according to their talents. They are just encouraged. So this was very interesting, and people who, educators with us who are interested in this study, I would encourage you to read these papers. They were so brilliant. All right, so I would now take a pause, and I would invite the audience to give us their inputs. Before I give you my inputs and what are my closing thoughts or my mission statements, I want to hear from you. It's like, what are your thoughts on creativity? What, as a parent, as an educationist, you would want to do? So I'm going to stop my slide share for a minute, and I would like to see your comments on YouTube, on Facebook, on our website. Is that what is, and even our co-panelists, our speakers, I want to know, what is your thought on creativity? What is your mission statement of bringing in the creativity, of learning what we have learned already? So our CCE team can look out for comments if you're getting some. Come on, audience, we need to know, what are your thinking? What are your creativity has to be nurtured? Yes, absolutely, it has to be nurtured. Anything more? Excellent. What is that one thought you have after this presentation? What are your thoughts about creativity? What can you do differently? Exploring the inner strength and creativity for me. Very nice. Awesome. Exploring the inner strengths and creativity. Very good. Absolutely. And are we giving them that room? Are we giving them that space to become who they want to be? Give freedom with kids' own rules. Super. Not bad at all. Too good. Also, leave a lot of room for imagination. I was reading a very nice article, and it said, let your children get bored. Only then they will have space to do things around what what they find, and then they become more creative. We can't force a flower to bloom, but we can provide the environment in which it will naturally blossom. So well said. Superb. Very nice. These are my closing thoughts that I would like to leave my audience with. Developing creative abilities calls for sophisticated forms of teaching and for relevant forms of assessment. Yes, a belief in the child's right to creative thought and expression transforms the classroom. Imagination, creative thought, enhanced opportunities for creative expressions. And that's it. This is what we need to think about. If it is talent we seek, then we must actively develop it rather than merely take notice after it has emerged. Thank you very much for listening to me. And we will move on to the next segment. I'll be very open, happy to answer any questions if the audience would have. All right, so let's move on to the next segment for this evening. And yes, CCE is very much committed. We stand by creativity. We believe in creativity. We even dream creativity. So CCE will do everything they can to help you do your best in the work in ECE. All right, so please join your hands to welcome the next keynote speaker for us. And Christoph. Christoph is a PhD holder and researcher of STEAM, Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts and Mathematics, Trans and Multidisciplinary Learning and Contemporary Cultural Studies in Finland at the Finnish Institute of Educational Research. He is a coordinator of outreach programs of the world's largest mathematics, arts and education community, the Bridges Organization. He is a member of the European Mathematical Society's Committee for Raising Public Awareness. And between 2013 and 2017, he served as Chief Executive Officer of International Symmetry Association. And in 2008, he started the Experience Workshop Global STEAM Network. Please join your hands and welcome Christoph.
Thank you so much, Simran Balani. Do you hear my voice, right? Okay. Yes, so obviously I should, sorry, please.
So is Mila joining you this evening?
Yes, actually, they will join with a pre-recorded video for sure, but let's see if we can get them also for the live discussions. We will see.
Yeah, so I will just introduce Mila to our
please.
Also, she's graduated with master's degree in education in the summer of 2020. Her goal is to challenge the personnel of ECEC to discuss and develop early childhood education, the role of an adult in play and in early childhood education in general, and how the key contents and terms of national core curriculum for early childhood education and care are understood for the best of children. She has been involved in writing the work of From a Story to Play, a handbook of narrative play. So, of course, join your hands and welcome Mila. And also joining them is Pirko. Pirko, she is a highly qualified professional in education holding a PhD in early childhood education and master's degree in physical education. She has done her dissertation on reading games and emergent reading before the school age. In addition to this, she is specialized in children's physical education. She has written many manuscripts for children's television programs. She has worked at the University of Czechoslovakia, the Faculty of Education and Psychology as a lecturer. And additionally, she's called the mother of baby swimming in Finland because she started baby swimming in Finland at the beginning of 1980s. Wow. A warm welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Simran Balani, for the nice introduction. Obviously, we done our best to collect all these titles, but we should do our best now to unlearn and drop as many as possible to leave some space also for our current thoughts. Thank you so much. It's extremely nice. Warm welcome here. I'm really glad for the invitation coming from Shirin Kulkarni, Haram Kulkarni, Simran Balani, and all the others who's behind this fantastic event. I think this is the most important time for this topic to be discussed really in this global context, as you are offering it so fantastically, because there is something in my hand which prevents us, actually not this obviously, but what it represents. It blocks the ways for personal communication and to enjoy all those creative methods and approaches what you have shown to us. I'm also terribly much missing hands-on activities, which really in the core of our concepts and of our approaches. And of course, the bodily involvement, the multisensorial involvement into learning cannot be substituted by any kind of technologies. I think we should agree about that, especially in terms of early childhood education, when what we miss now with the social distancing is so important. But on the other hand, we need to understand that what is the price of our survival, and we need to adapt also to this, and we need to try our best to find the possible ways, like water flows in between the rocks. I think this is a situation for us now, and when this streaming and other kind of options are possible to us, we need to search for these hybrid solutions at this moment. So warm welcome from us also for this initiation. I think Simran's beautiful slides really made the stage for this today's session, when I also would like to connect to CCE's wonderful portfolio of books and tools, what we have seen shown by Shirin in the introduction. So we are also preparing to contribute to this portfolio with our modest way, because actually 6 kindergarten teachers with really wide experience from Finland, as you have seen from the introductions, that I'm not a kindergarten teacher, I'm a researcher. I'm talking about my colleagues who were really kind to me, that opened doors to me to enter to their project, which was about summarizing the essence of the current state of art in Finnish early childhood education and care. So there will be a book coming out within some months. It's already in the hand of the publisher. So Finland International Education will bring this out, I guess, around Christmas or maybe around next year. I mean, again, according to European calendar, I'm talking about. So December, January. And the title is Playful Learning in Finnish Early Childhood Education. That's the main title. So playfulness, absolutely. And this is not like a theoretical book, not at all. But though everything is connected to theoretical resources, everything is linked to research. Even researchers can open it up to get the access to the theoretical background, every elements, every content modules what are included. But it's more a very pragmatic handbook. It's a collection of more than 100 activities which have been observed and done very frequently in Finnish kindergartens, in Finnish early childhood centers, pedagogical activities and care, integrating language, art, mathematical and motor activities. So this is the real content of the book, and I think this is the real value of those activities which everybody can try at home, when there is homeschooling, when there is lockdown, or in the kindergartens all around the world. The authors are Pirkko Karvonen, she was the leader of this project, and Milla Salonen, Tuuli Kiukkonen-Mikkola, Susan Helden-Paavola, Elina Lainen, Päivi Erkilä, and I also contributed with a little chapter to this book. Now I would like to ask Heram Kulkarni to please start the video where the leader of the project, Pirkko Karvonen, and one of our colleagues, Milla Salonen, will introduce you the book. Thank you so much.
Yes, Christoph, by the time Heram starts the video to the audience.
Okay.
Okay, so he is starting it. I wanted to ask one question, but I will ask it later.
Dear friends all over the world, we are here to present our upcoming book, Playful Learning in Finnish Early Childhood Education, Pedagogical Activities and Care Integrating Language, Art, Mathematical and Motor Activities. My name is Pirkko Karvonen and I am the editor of this book. There are 3 of us authors telling about this upcoming book. In total, there are 7 authors who are experienced in early childhood education. Some of the authors work in early childhood education centers at the moment, and some of them do research, and some of them school the personnel of early childhood education centers. In fact, I have worked for many years at the University of Jyväskylä in Finland, teaching future early childhood education teachers, mainly physical education and reading games, immersion reading. In cooperation with early childhood education teachers, we implemented the Storytellers project, in which we integrated, for example, play, physical exercises, mathematics, and language. There are plenty of such examples in this book. In Finnish school system and early childhood education have a good global reputation with an emphasis on holistic and child-centered learning. It's known around the world that Finnish early childhood education is of high quality. The educators in Finnish early childhood education consist of 2 groups of workers. The first group, early childhood education teachers, study to bachelor or master's degree level at university, or to bachelor's degree level at University of Applied Sciences. The second group, nursery nurses, is qualified at vocational level. These different workers cooperate in multi-professional teams. Many international teachers, students, and experts of early childhood education visit or study in Finland, and these visitors have asked for English language learning material that we lack. Actually, this was the reason to start writing a book with theoretical knowledge based on research data, and at the same time practical examples for use by people working with young children. In addition, there is information of different ways of how children can be guided and taught in a playful manner. Through playing, children learn and develop and acquire foundation for lifelong learning. This book is intended for all persons working with children aged 0 to 7 years and who do important work, for example, in early childhood education centers, nurseries or schools in all parts of the world. This book can also be used in teaching and training of the professionals of early childhood education. In the book, Theory and practice go hand in hand, whereby the entities open up to the reader from a broader perspective. Playful activities can be found in the book at the end of each chapter after the theory section. And these activities can be seen from an adult-led perspective. However, the participation of children must take place. The description of playful activities provides more detailed instructions for the preparation and evaluation of activities and for further work on the topic. We writers wish that by reading this book, you readers will get an idea of Finnish early childhood education and how children can be taught in a playful manner. Our goal is to guide you how to teach through play and strengthen children's lifelong learning, as well as the skills the children will need in the future. The name of this book is Playful Learning in Finnish Early Childhood Education, Pedagogical Activities and Care Integrating Language, Art, Mathematical and more motor activities. This book consists of two parts. Part 1, Principles of Early Childhood Education and Care in Finland. And second part, Learning Areas in Finnish Early Childhood Education and Care. The script is currently in the language check phase. The book should be ready early next year. If you want to ask about the book, please contact Pirkko Karvonen or Johan Stuhlgart. Here are some pictures of Finnish early childhood centers. Next, Milla Salonen will tell about the contents of the book in more detail. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. My name is Milla Salonen, and I'm one of the authors. I'm a Master of Arts, and I have worked as a kindergarten teacher for over 16 years now. My own interest in early childhood education has always been play, especially children's self-motivated play, narrative play, learning through play, and the development of play activities and its resources. Also, the recent interest has been the adult's role in children's play. Pirkko described the main topics of our book, and next I'm going to describe them a bit more. Like she said, this book is divided into two parts, and the first part of the book focuses on the legislation and regulations that consider the Finnish early childhood education. The National Core Curriculum for Early Childhood Education was published in 2016 in Finland, and we are going to describe this curriculum throughout the book. And it's a national regulation that according the local and children's early childhood education plans are drawn up and early childhood education is carried out. This document was updated in 2018. This chapter contains information about the pedagogy and practices we value here in Finland and how and why we consider play to be the key activity in early childhood education. In this book, the approach is more based on guided play, but we should also remember the importance of children's self-motivated play. In the book, we also open up the pedagogy of children's participation in daily activities, and this participatory approach is based on research and studies of children's learning and development in the recent years. Also, the quality and evaluation of early childhood education is described in this chapter. And to us, it means that the pedagogy is based on curriculum. It is planned thoroughly. It's set with goals, and the activities are interactive and reflective. In this book, the key objectives and contents of pedagogical practices are described through different learning areas. These areas can also be found in the core curriculum, which I mentioned before. These different areas are integrated, through which children's transversal examination and exploration of phenomena can be developed, supported, and expanded. The second part of the book is about these learning areas in Finnish early childhood education. And chapter 2 is about learning language and interaction in early childhood education, and it's related to learning area, the rich world of languages from the curriculum. It also includes the literacy. This chapter contains information on, for instance, linguistic identities, which you can see in the PowerPoint slide. Also information about child's language development at different ages, children's bilingualism and multilingualism, and how to proceed if child's language development needs to be observed more carefully or more closely. In the part that describes promoting language skills, there are examples of play and playful activities for language learning and how to support children's language development, interaction, and participation through these examples. Other topics that are also taken into account are media, multiliteracy, emergent literacy skills. And in the end of each chapter, there is a summary of how to promote these skills, in this case, the language skills and literacy, and also a lot of different kinds of playful activities for you to do with the children, how to learn language skills through play. Chapter 3 is related to the learning area, the diverse world of expression from the curriculum. In Finnish early childhood education, the goal is to support children's musical, visual, verbal, and physical expression and let them to be active and explore their environments to arouse creativity. In this chapter, the focus is on art education and on musical and visual expression and creativity, and how and why these have been integrated to other learning areas of early childhood education. We describe how we define the musical and visual expression and how they can be a part of everyday situations and, as we call it, all-day pedagogy. Creativity can be seen as an artistic activity, which might be an act of singing, dancing, drawing, or other artistic activity, and we take the children's ideas and experiences into account when planning and implementing and evaluating this. We also describe how the musical and visual skills develop at different ages, and at the end of the chapter, there is a summary of promoting experiences in artistic expression and also these playful activities to implement art education and to be the platform for creativity with the children. Chapter 4 is about mathematical thinking and exploration, and this chapter is related to the learning area exploring and interacting with my environment from the curriculum. And the focus is on the development of child's mathematical thinking. This development has been divided into more detailed information about core numerical skills that you can see in the picture on PowerPoint slide, symbolic and non-symbolic number sense, counting skills, understating mathematical relations, and basic skills in arithmetic. The goal is to share information about how and why to develop the mathematical thinking skills, creativity and imagination through playful and artistic multidisciplinary activities, which is a STEAM method. Christophe Tenivesi is going to tell you more about this topic. And at the end of the chapter, there's a summary of promoting mathematical skills and playful activities to develop mathematical skills with the children. Chapter 5 is about motor learning and physical activity. The chapter is related to a learning area, I grow, move, and develop from the curriculum, and it focuses on motor skills and movement in early learning in early childhood education. This includes information about children's motor development and how this is related to motor learning and possible difficulties in it. The general aim is to promote children's well-being and a healthy lifestyle. And other perspectives are how physical exercise are a natural way to get to know children's self-awareness and mastery of their own body provides a basis for healthy self-esteem. How we educators promote children's well-being and healthy lifestyle by planning and involving the families also, so that parents and children are in planning physical education together. At the end of the chapter, you can find the summary of promoting motor skills and physical activity and playful activities how to accumulate motor skills. Chapter 6. This chapter is related to a couple of different learning areas from the curriculum. We describe child as a part of the community, and this is related to a learning area, me and my community, from the curriculum. The focus is on how we educators have to reflect our own thoughts and actions, but also, if necessary, to change our point of view and to consider how to guide children to act flexibly in an ever-changing world, to find their own place, their own voice, and strength as individuals, and also as a member of the community. We also need to think how to reflect on the questions of ethical thinking, worldview, education, the past, the present, and the future of the local community with the children. There's an example of how you can address this diversity of the world in a playful way in this chapter. We describe child as an active explorer and actor, and this is related to a learning area, exploring and interacting with my environment from the curriculum. This chapter addresses topics such as science education, technology education, and mathematical thinking. We also describe how children learn to take care of themselves, and this is related to a learning area, I grow, move, and develop from the curriculum. Objectives are related to healthy and safety skills, physical activity, food education, and health and safety. There are examples of playful activities within the text, and in this chapter, there's no summary or playful activities differently at the end of the chapter. Chapter 7 is about infants and toddlers in early childhood education and care. In this chapter, the focus is on the pedagogy with the young children and how the young children learn. There's also information on how to play with infants and toddlers.
Thank you a lot for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed this video presentation from Pirkko Karvonen and Milla Salonen. They are both the authors, and Pirkko is the editor of this new book, supposed to come in a few months in Finland. I hope you will enjoy it. And in the remaining few minutes of this panel, I would like to focus a bit on opportunities in developing mathematical skills through creativities and arts, because this is a field where sometimes the connections are not that obvious as it could be. So I try to share my screen, and I will also connect to the book on that way, that many of these contents which I will mention is also part of the book. So I mentioned already Finnish education, which is actually the place of practice for those activities which are collected in the book. But obviously, Finland is not an isolated place in space and history, but also our activities got inspired by many sources. And what comes to mathematics, there is a great inspirator, Zoltán Pál Dienes, who had a fantastic book many decades ago. It's called Building Up Mathematics. And you can see his room for primary school and preschool education already from the 60s. You can see these colors, you can see these many kinds of various activities. And it was many decades ago. And you can see also this primary school and preschool space from the very high-end school of Cambridge University's early childhood center and primary school from Cambridge. You can see the similarities between these spaces. We are doing, by the way, an activity related to those shapes which I shown to open this panel. You could also see another picture from Dienes, where you can see movement, and also the background is very interesting. You can see various kind of diagrams, but in a very artistic way exhibited in the room. And another picture from our own activity, another activity just in our years. One year ago in Italy, in kindergartens, we did movement and pattern and mathematics learning through the body, and patterns through singing and rhythms and movement. So this activity was also called the elephants and monkeys, for imitating the small steps of the monkey and the big steps of the elephants, and everything was connected to a children's song and children play, which Italian children taught for us. So it was a very interesting activity. And we are also doing a lot of STEAM activities, so the integration between science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics in many other places, like in South Africa. So we really try to connect Finnish practices with other practices, the best trends from STEAM learning and phenomenon-based learning from all around the world. And what comes also as another source for these activities is a fantastic heritage from John Higley, who was a US artist, together with his wife, Dominique Higley. They run a kindergarten where art and mathematics and symmetry education was really in the center, and we got a lot of inspiration in those practices, which we try to bring forward also in Finnish kindergartens. And actually, the Finnish curriculum is very much supporting these kind of activities. So we found a really good context for these efforts. You can see some of the tools what we are frequently using. This one is called Karavonga, and from these modular colorful puzzles you can create amazing patterns, visual illusions, and as you can see we also combine these activities in the kindergarten with body movement and learning through the body movement and multisensorial way through about symmetries and enjoying the phenomenon of symmetry on various ways. And of course, there are many activities which are very well known also, not only in Finland, but how to draw the symmetry and how to transform representations from objects of the physical world to mathematical geometrical shapes, as you can see, and also how to transform them as collage works, and also how to raise combinatorial thinking through these color patterns, and also modular thinking. We just finished a project called Polyuniverse project, where we offered activities on the development, algorithmic thinking and computational thinking from early childhood education to the end of the high school. So really wide-ranging project it was, and it's an amazing thing that you can use the same tool from the beginning to sort of the end of the whole time, of the whole span of education, and it can provide new and new content to discover according to various learning goals. And this is also, for example, a very suitable, appropriate solution also in informal learning events and playful events what are so natural for the world of kindergartens. And of course, just to not forget about the building blocks, the good old building blocks, but we also try to bring them a little bit in new formats. So these are soft blocks, and even you pile it very, very high, we can make sure that no any child can be hurted because of the falling pieces. And as you can see, there are many interesting patterns, and also measurement and calculation problems could be introduced, and pattern problems, very playful and experience-centered way. And this is basically our goal. So I don't want to spend more time from the panel, but because my colleagues already shared with you the theoretical background and also the main chapters information about this book. So I really hope that in the panel we can also discuss a little bit more, and we will reach to each other when this book will be also published. So I thank to all of you for this kind welcome in this panel, and I wish you a great conference for the rest of the day. Thank you a lot.
Thank you very much, Christoph, and superb. What an interesting insight on the book. Very intriguing and very interesting. And then from your elephant and monkey activity to your mosaic puzzles, wow, it is just brilliant. Too good.
Thank you.
And,
that was called Maths in Motion, actually, Mathematics in Motion. Yes, thanks.
And I think this imagined from a child's eye, this is so interesting. Not like our days where math used to be frightening for us, but very well done and superb. Awesome to have you with us. And I would request all the audience members to applaud, and a big round of clap from me. And thank you very much for your time. And we will move on to the next segment. We will listen to what it is about working in a Finnish preschool and how is it a creative experience. So put your hands together to welcome our next speaker. And we welcome now Tim Davis. Tim Davis has been a qualified preschool teacher since June of 2011. He has about 6 years of experience teaching preschool in Finland, and with tremendous success, of course. All of his students have passed an English proficiency test to get into Finnish international schools. Wow. He's a qualified preschool teacher, English teacher, class teacher, and social studies teachers in Finland. Tim also has qualification as elementary and secondary teacher in Washington and Idaho. His specialized areas are English, reading, and social studies. Tim also has 13 years of experience teaching elementary school in the state of Idaho, USA. Very warm welcome, Tim. Over to you. Tim, you're on mute. Yes.
Oh, I am on mute now.
No, now we can hear you clearly. Welcome, Tim. Tim, you're back on mute again. I'm sorry.
How about now?
Now you're good.
Oh, great. Okay. I have had a lot of experience teaching in the United States. I taught on the Coeur d'Alene Indian Reservation, and I have had 6 years of teaching here in Finland. I just wanted to pull up my, let's see if you'll see it now. Do you see my PowerPoint now?
Not yet, Tim. You'll give it a few seconds.
Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah, hopefully it will come up here. I'll try it again. Oh, let's see. I'll try it again. See if it probably just takes some time. Let's see.
You can just start by presenting your entire screen.
Okay,
yes,
sure.
Perfect. You can see it.
Okay,
yes,
here.
There you go, Tim. Awesome.
Yeah, and I want to get the this up all the way here for you, so it's better.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to give you some ideas as far as being a creative preschool teacher. I'm not your run-of-the-mill teacher. I'm one who really believes that we as individuals or human beings only probably use about 2% of our brains to our potential. And I think as a great preschool teacher that you need to help develop kids to their full potential in the time that you have them. And I just wanted again to, I've had 5 years of teaching preschool in Tampere, Finland, and 1 year of teaching preschool in Helsinki, Finland. And as it was mentioned before, I taught 13 years on the Coeur d'Alene Indian Reservation. And I just wanted to tell you that I've never had such a warming experience and have never met such gentle, genteel, kind individuals as I have from the Native Americans. And I think probably one thing that I learned from them that I took with me in the rest of my educational experiences, and that is respect for the elders. And, because usually the chief tribal member was an elder, and all of the young Native Americans learned from the elders. And I've also have, as a personal experience, as a child, my parents ran a retirement center, and my childhood was actually in a retirement center, and I can say that I learned more about U.S. history and history from the elders than I did from any history professor. I just throw some of these personal experiences in because I feel as a teacher that whatever you do, whatever experience you have, you'll carry with you in the teaching profession. And I just wanted to mention that. Also, I wanted to kind of go through with you what I usually do in a preschool day, or what I did that I found that the kids really enjoy. I start the preschool day with the circle time. And of course, in the circle time, we discuss the calendar, and we're always specific about the dates, the days, the week, the month, and the weather. the other thing that I use in my teaching of preschool, and that's why I put the book here, is I teach virtues from the Family Virtues Guide. And I think this guide is not only great for every teacher to read, but I think parents of children should read this book as well, because it really, I think what is lacking so much today in today's society is I'm finding a lacking of virtues. And when I start my preschool year, I always start with the virtue of friendliness. And, I discuss what friendliness means, about being caring for one another, taking interest in caring of other people without even being asked to. And I always mention to the kids that friendliness is the cure for loneliness. And I've also always mentioned to the kids, from one of my favorite U.S. presidents, Franklin Roosevelt, who said that the only way to have a friend is to be one. And, usually I like to carry this virtue through the entire week and practice it, because I think that as a preschool teacher, that you are bringing about establishing a foundation for the students for the rest of their life. And, if you really think about it in physical terms, it's just like a building. If a building is built on egg cartons, it will crumble and fall. But if you are able to build a very virtuous personality and a strong personality for young people, they'll have a strong foundation to build their educational career and the rest of their life with. And so that's something that I feel as a creative preschool teacher that I highly recommend, this Family Virtues. And I have gone through it, and I'm going to mention here on later on in the presentation how I apply it in every aspect of the day. After we do the circle time, I know one thing for sure, and that is teaching preschool, that the one thing that kids need is movement. And, you cannot do prolonged activities without, getting up and doing some movement and exercise. And especially if they're sitting in circle time, they may get a bit stiff. So we'll take a 15-minute physical activity break. And in that time, we do some stretching, and also we do some breathing exercises just to relax the students. And then usually, I just mentioned this is one of many games that I like to play. We play what I call the freezing game, in which students dance to music. And I let them have free dance, and it's usually you got to have them on a carpet. You'll find if it's on a floor, especially in Finland where everybody's in their socks, they'll fall down. So you do need to have a carpet or a rug. And what I'll do is I'll play music on a CD player, and then I stop the music. And the last one that stops to freeze is out of the dance, and then they'll sit down and on the couch or on a chair, and you continue this on and on until the last student standing is the one who wins the game. And you'll find with this game, the kids enjoy it so much that even when the time is up, they'll say, "Come on, how about another one? How about another one?" And I think that that's really how you want to leave an activity, where the kids want to do it more. But usually I'll say, "Oh, well, we'll do it again," but I have some other exciting things that we're going to be doing. But I highly recommend this game. You can just use kids' music. I have often found that kids love the oldies. For example, Wooly Bully, is one that comes to mind that the kids really enjoy. And also tying in the friendliness virtue, one thing that I will encourage the kids to do is I ask the students will draw a picture of themselves and another student being friendly to one another. And it's pretty simple. Just the materials that are needed is A4 plain paper, a pencil, eraser, and colored pencils. And I sometimes will have kids say, well, I can't do this. And I'll say, hey, you know what? You can do it. And the reason you can do it, it's the first thing that has ever happened with man or woman. Think about the caveman in the caves. You can draw it. It's ingrained in you. You can do it. It's as natural as breathing. And once I convince the kids that they can draw, you know what? They draw, and they draw very well. And usually after they draw the picture, if they like to color it after they're done drawing, they'll show it to me, and they'll get the colored pencils. Some like to color them, some don't. I respect what their wishes are, but the one thing that I think is so important is to use positive and encouraging language to motivate the students with this activity, and that can be verbal or nonverbal, smiles and going around the room and checking out their work. And I also think that it's very important, in a brick and mortar classroom anyway, to put their work up, of course. And usually I'll put it up in the entryway, also for the kids to parents to see. And plus, when they come in, they'll say, "Mom, look at the picture I drew." And so that's something. And not only that, you are enhancing the friendliness virtue, and it's carrying through. And I think if you want the kids to learn the virtue, you need to be consistent and follow through with what you're talking about, not only in the activities, but also how you are with them. And I think that one thing that is very important for a teacher, in my humble opinion, is to be friendly and to be kind, because kids, one thing I've learned from kids in my experience in teaching is they can read you like a book, and they can sense the teachers that are there to just collect a salary and those that are there to make a difference in their life. The next thing that I like to do with the friendliness virtue in the day is tie in friendliness with music. And, with all these virtues come virtue songs to every one of the virtues. And there's the friendliness song, and they're all on CD. And what I like to do in the week is have the students learn the friendliness song. So what we will do is I have posters for all the virtues in large letters, and I mount the poster on the. And I usually I'll have the kids sit around in a circle, and I have a pointer stick, and I have the CD player with me, and I play the song and I sing the song, and I encourage the kids to sing the song with me. Some kids are really shy, so but they usually, after we do it 3 or 4 times, you'll find that maybe 2 the first time I'll do it, then finally the entire group will do it. And then the other thing that I do is I ask I'll take volunteers for kids to come up with me and go through the song and sing it with me. And both our hands are on that pointer stick going across the words. And kids really like that. Usually, as when I ask that, every hand goes up. And so, kids will say, "It's my turn, it's my turn, it's my turn." But they really enjoy it. And I think it's so positive because kids actually, with this activity, not only learn how to sing, they learn how to read. They are having fun learning English. And this is something where I'll hear the parents say, "Oh, yeah, Mika sang the friendliness song on the way home. He really likes that song, and he even sings it at home." So it is a great activity, and it's a great way for kids to learn English, because I've had kids in a group of 20. None of them were English speakers, and by the end of the year, they were fluent in English. So I know this method works, and I think it's positive. And then lunch and friendliness. Of course, in the when we're in a brick or mortar room, I like to encourage the students to sit by a student you don't usually sit by and practice the friendliness virtue. I also eat lunch with the kids and practice friendliness with the whole class. And then I also, when we're eating lunch, I'll say, okay, now we need to stop and let's take a look at what we're eating. Oh, great. Here's a great vegetable salad it has. Who can tell me what is in there? And if somebody can tell me, if someone will say, hey, there's a tomato. Oh, there's a cucumber. There's carrots. And, and then in the casserole, who can identify what's in the casserole? I think there's some potato. I think that there's some pepper in there. But I think that it is, that some people think that you learn English just in the classroom, but it's a holistic approach. You learn it all day in every situation. Lunchtime can be an educational situation for all of us. And so that's something that I do. And for online activities, I would encourage the parents to do that with their children when they eat lunch with them. And then this is something else, and I guess it's because of my own background, is when time permits, I've made arrangements with a nearby retirement center to make weekly visits by the preschool. And what I have them do is first I make arrangements with the administrators, and I'll ask the retirement home administrator to identify some seniors that are, fairly coherent, but they don't have anyone left in their lives. They're lonely. They may not even have friends alive anymore. And what I do is I have the kids adopt a lonely senior and, develop a relationship with them. And it can be doing anything from just sitting, sometimes just sitting. I know in these times you can't, but just sitting and holding their hand. Sometimes just sitting 15 minutes in silence, but some the seniors like to talk eventually. I've had some go for walks when the patient's in a walker down the hallway, but they develop a relationship. And I have found that most kids, there have been some who have had their grandparents are out of town, but they really enjoy doing this. And I also then sometimes by Christmas time, we'll have learned enough songs and some Christmas songs that we will do a concert for these seniors. And it is something that I think teaches the kids friendliness, but it also teaches them respect for the elderly. And I think this is my own personal opinion that in retirement centers, there's a wealth of knowledge that's being ignored and should be recognized. And many of the kids have told me experiences. And I've also wanted to mention that I had a situation where I had one male senior who hadn't spoken in 3 years. And I had 2 lively boys that held hands and talked to him. And by our 3rd time, he started talking back to them and started communicating with them. And the nurses told me some of them teared up and said that had been the first time he had said a word in 3 years. He had been catatonic and depressed. So it can make a difference. And I think it's very rewarding for the seniors and very rewarding for the kids. Also, after, usually we have a visit. This has been my experience of teaching in Finland. We will have, after lunch, we will go outside and do free play. And I can't express how important free play is for the kids. I know it's been discussed here in the conference, but it's amazing some of the things that kids can come up with and some of the games they can come up with just in the sandbox or just through creation of leaves. And I also think when we're outside that the outside is the best classroom you can have. for example, going down to the playground, we will identify the birch tree, the maple tree, the oak tree, and the kids will pick up leaves and look at them and say, oh, what kind of leaf is that? I'll say, that's a leaf from an oak tree. That's a leaf from a maple tree. And so even going down to the park can be a learning experience for the kids. And I can't stress enough how important free play is for preschool students. And then when we come in from outside, I will say that the kids really enjoy story time. And I usually sit them in a circle and I sit right in front of them. And these are I mentioned some of the favorite books that some of these kids have enjoyed the most. Like 101 Dalmatians. The kids just love that story. They'll ask me to read it over and over. Green Eggs and Ham is another one that they really enjoy. And then, of course, the classic Cat in the Hat. But I have many, many more books in my library. When I go back to the United States in the summer, I am able to go to secondhand stores, the Goodwill, and I can pick these books up for 10 cents or 20 for $1 sometimes. And I've looked these up on Amazon, and these are like $10 a piece. But I have assembled a huge library of these books because the kids love them, and I think it's a good way for them also to learn English. And when I read the stories, I take my time, I show them the pictures. Sometimes we'll discuss the pictures, but I don't just rush through the story. And then after the story, if there's a moral to the story, we talk about it. Then usually something that I've done in preschool, and I think it's something that's important, is I'll have the kids learn the entire alphabet. So they learn how to properly print the letters. And of course, we start with letter A, as I have here in my presentation. But we go through and we do the entire alphabet. And then when we're done with the alphabet, then we bind it together and make an alphabet book. And the kids design their front cover and back cover, and we bind the alphabet book together. And then the kids have a book that they can take home with them for the year, and they feel so proud. And then lastly, I just want to talk to you how I envision online preschool. And since I'm not able to be physically online teaching, that is crucial to have a positive partnership with the parents. Parents will play a key role to help students navigate online devices such as laptops, tablets, and educational applications. Parents will play a key role in implementing practice studies with their child. For example, if I want them to practice friendliness, or I ask them if there's any way they can contact a retirement center and adopt a grandparent there. And I realize with COVID now, it may just have to be an online visit with a senior, but that can be worked out. And nursing home administrators are more than willing to cooperate with that. But I think that it is something that really is meaningful. And I think that I myself have always worked well with parents because I do feel that we are partners in their child's education and future. So I will mention that I will take questions after everyone has presented, but this is the end of my presentation. It's been a privilege to be part of this conference. I can't tell you how impressed I am with the brilliant people that have presented during this conference. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Tim, and a big, 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 big round of applause. I want to crawl back and become a child in your class and go through the experiences that your children are going through. just amazing, just wow. And I love how you are bringing friendliness into, actually you're inculcating that friendliness right from their morning routines to the circle time to lunch, and even taking it to the retirement home. You're also teaching them empathy, you're teaching them love, which is outside the family circle or friend circle. So wow, hats off to you, Tim. Super, very well done. Yeah. And I think this requires a lot of dedication to make this presentation go through your entire day. What are the highlights of your day? So really, really brilliant. Thank you very much. And I'm sure the audience has taken lots and lots of notes to, make their classroom better. Thank you very much, Tim, for your time. And we are taking questions. We will be very happy to note your comments, take your questions after we finish our session with the speakers. And let's see what we have in store and who are we welcoming next. So please join your hands in welcoming a very, 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 very talented personality, Dr. Shilpa Gauri. She is an associate professor and coordinator, Research Center for Philosophy and PhD in English, Professor Ramakrishna More College, Akurdi, Pune, for last 26 years. She has received the Best Research Paper Award in the international conference held in Sri Lanka. She has presented papers and chaired various sessions in international conferences in countries like Hong Kong, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, United Kingdom, Switzerland, Singapore, Russia, Italy, Indonesia, Thailand, United Arab Emirates, and France. She has written 4 books and edited 8 books. She has taken initiative in the production of teaching material for visually impaired students of Bachelor of Arts since 2012. And she's going to talk to us about using WhatsApp in today's world, of how we can do teaching through WhatsApp. So a very warm welcome, Dr. Shilpa Gauri. Over to you, ma'am.
Please unmute Shilpa Gauri, madam.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, perfectly.
Now I can't see my screen. I'll just stop sharing and I'll just again.
Yeah. Sure. No problem. Take your time.
Is it visible?
Yes. You can make it.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening.
No problem. You can just tell it that way also. Not too late.
I have to go to your entire screen and then
No problem.
click on.
Take your time, ma'am. It's okay.
Is it visible now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. It's really a great pleasure for me to present myself before the august audience like you all. Though I don't belong to the specialized field called preschool, I'll be presenting myself because I belong to, as a member of the executive committee of a preschool. I'm representing myself. So this is my presentation. So creative use of WhatsApp as an asynchronous teaching platform. This is my topic of today's presentation. And so we all know that WhatsApp is quite popular nowadays, and it can be used in the field of education, that we all know. And this particular tool is used in a preschool and in an amazingly creative way. So I thought that I should take up that topic as a case study. Now, WhatsApp is an immensely popular, simple, and versatile messaging app. It's currently used in over 180 countries, and over 50 million messages are sent on it every day. As of July 2017 it is, but now it has been increased. More than 1.7 billion people were actively using WhatsApp, which makes it the world's second largest social network. So constant availability of facilitator and learning anytime, anywhere has made WhatsApp a new and convenient tool for teaching learning activity. And it's really an easy tool to keep in contact with the students. So in this particular case study, why WhatsApp is used, we will be discussing. But basically, WhatsApp is used very popularly now, at least not just in pandemic, but before pandemic also. And after pandemic also, WhatsApp will be used as a platform in education. Now, as I said, the case study, for case study, I chose a school, Shri Sainath Balak Mandir. It's in Chinsuwad. It's a small school. And the target population, obviously the students, teachers, parents of Shri Sainath Balak Mandir. The school, I have just put on some pictures, the real-time pictures of the teachers, students, and parents of the school. Now, the research problem. Shri Sainath Balak Mandir, it wanted to continue teaching in the lockdown and wanted to do online teaching, but without using LMS computers or Google Meet. Neither the school nor the parents had the modern gadgets such as computer, laptop, or notepad. Moreover, the teachers and parents, both, they are not tech savvy. So this is the research problem, and the thesis statement for this particular paper or the presentation is Shri Sainath Balak Mandir would succeed in making an effective use of WhatsApp and will be able to deliver the teaching in the pandemic time, obviously with the help of WhatsApp. Now, let's see the background of the study. So actually, closure of schools for indefinite period due to pandemic was announced not just in India, across the globe. And as I have already talked about that the parents are not tech savvy and there are no Wi-Fi connection and all with the parents also, and not even in the school also. So, the teachers, they took a decision that they will make use of WhatsApp because WhatsApp can be used on smartphones, and both the parents and teachers, they had smartphones and WhatsApp accounts. So it was unanimously decided to make use of WhatsApp for teaching learning situation. Now, what are the objectives of the present research or study? It aims to explore the creative use of WhatsApp as an asynchronous tool. Then it tries to do the case study of the exclusive teaching methodology used by Shri Sainath Balak Mandir in the pandemic situation, and to know the benefits of using WhatsApp to the stakeholders, namely students, teachers, and parents. Now, this study has got limitations. The research is based only on the case study of one chosen specific school, that is Sainath Balak Mandir, and the specific period is June 2020 and September 2020. So teaching learning activities conducted between this particular period, they were analyzed, and the exclusive use of WhatsApp as an asynchronous tool of teaching and learning was explored in detail. Now, let's see the project timeline, what the school wanted to achieve. So phase one was, there was a discourse with the parents through WhatsApp calls. The teachers convinced them about the necessity of using the free of cost WhatsApp platform. Then the preparation of teaching material was done. That is, the teachers, they actually prepared videos and hands-on material covering the syllabus. Then in phase 3, distribution of learning material was done. That is, the school actually gave parents set of textbooks, workbooks, and cyclo-style material, craft material to be completed under the supervision of parents and submitted to school on every Saturday. And in phase 4, formation of students groups entrusted with specific teachers, it was done, and the teachers, they were given the responsibility of a group of students, and the teachers were supposed to meet the students on WhatsApp every Monday and Thursday through WhatsApp calls, but video calls. And this is how it was done. In phase 5, implementation of innovative activities, I'll be talking about this in the next presentation, the actual innovative activities that were conducted by the school in the last presentation of my creative preschool. So I will not be talking about it, but the school planned innovative activities in order to make the teaching learning a fulfilling experience for students and teachers. And these activities were carried out obviously under the supervision of parents. And the last phase was testing of students' performance. The school actually conducted a term end examination, that is the examination. And it was, obviously it was conducted because in order to understand whether the students have comprehended the syllabus or they have grasped the syllabus or not. And once again, it was conducted with the cooperation of the parents. The photocopies of question papers were given to the parents to be solved under their supervision. This was all about the written exam, and the oral exam and the craft things, they were done separately. And even for the oral exam, again, WhatsApp platform was used. And the progress report was also given to the parents after the terminal examination was over. And it is interesting that all the students, they enjoyed the whole process. Now, I will not be talking about the activities because it will be a repetition, but I just want to say that different innovative activities were conducted by the school, and there was not a repetition of the activities, but the activities, they focused on the development of hands-on skills also and soft skills also. So creative thinking, problem-solving strategies, motivation, positive attitude, confidence building, time management, leadership, communication skills, all these soft skills, they were developed with the help of the varied innovative activities. And even the hands-on activities, hands-on skills were also developed, like craft, model making, collage making, drawing, writing. So the activities, they were obviously decided by the teachers, and they were really very interesting. So actually, because of the constraint of time, I will not be able to say a lot about these activities just now, but I'll be talking about it in the next presentation. But I just would like to say something about that soft skills here, because you should get a feel of the activity, that's why. So actually, the school wanted to instill the soft skills in the students. So the students were asked to wake up at a specific time in the morning, and they were given time slots every Monday and Thursday, and asked to be ready for the meeting with their teacher. This exercise gave them a lesson of being punctual. The students were also taught the basics of communication skills. They were taught why to keep mum till the other person is speaking and when to start responding. They were taught to listen to the question carefully and then answer it. They were taught how to take turns in communication. They were taught the basic etiquette and mannerism to be followed in normal conversation and telephone talk. They were taught how to initiate the conversation through the greeting, that is namaste. Through different assignments, their confidence was built. They were made aware of their potential. They were motivated by telling them stories with a moral. A positive attitude was developed in them. The creative thinking skills and problem-solving strategies were enhanced through different games. In brief, all these activities, they focused on the development of both the soft skills and hands-on skills of the students. Now, what are the significant discoveries? The students, they spelled out their feelings to the teachers on WhatsApp calls. Anything and everything. And they were waiting for the call of the teacher. Every Monday and Thursday. They used to wait for the teacher, and they used to be very happy. The whole day they used to be very happy the earlier day and the next day. Yeah. So in this particular manner, the whole week they used to be very happy. They completed their tasks and participated in almost all the activities. This is just amazing. The bond of love and affection between parents and children, it was strengthened. Yeah, because the whole thing was done with the help of the parents, and they were the key persons in the whole teaching learning situation. And that's why their bonding, it definitely was strengthened. Then the highlight of the study is that all the stakeholders are benefited in the project. Now, I will not talk about the benefits just now because I will be talking later on. And there was a synergy of all the stakeholders which resulted in the students' holistic development. The teachers, parents, and students, the synergy. And just out of them, yes, what is the result? That is the students' holistic development. And the present study, it proved the thesis statement that the progress of the students in the term and examination, it proves the fact that WhatsApp proved to be an effective platform of teaching. I'm not going to put here the details of who scored what and how, and that is not the thing to be discussed just now. But I just want to say that really the students were benefited, and it was proved, because there should be a proof of what they have learned. And yes, that the proof was their performance in the term and examination. And implications of the research. See, the teachers should make use of the right blend of activities per day, that is hands-on activities and the soft skill development, that is writing, reading, memorization, and so on. But there should be the right blend. The varied activities conducted throughout the week. When you conduct the activities should not be repeated. So repetition should be avoided. The video should not be lengthy. That is, the video should not be, the duration should not be 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes. The asynchronous teaching platform also can be used as a synchronous platform through WhatsApp video calls of teachers to students, which give them a feel of a real-time conversation. So this is what was done by Sainath Balak. So with this, I have come to the last slide of my presentation. So I just thank CCE for giving me this golden opportunity to present myself. Thank you so much. And just let's keep collaborating. Thank you.
Wow, amazing, Dr. Shilpa Gauri. Superb initiative, and so much to do, and that too on a WhatsApp platform. A platform that we almost take it for granted just for our usual chatting. Yes, scheduled meeting here and there, but teaching at this magnitude, and that too a combination of soft skills. Superb, really, really great. And there was a question, of course, a bunch of questions, which few I also had. So here is the question. Interesting project. How much was the effort for the teachers to interact with the parent on WhatsApp? Was it hectic? And was there any specific time for the parents to send messages to the teachers? So how did the whole demographic work in this case?
Yeah, it's a very nice question, actually. Teachers, yes, I told you that they are not tech savvy. They are not tech savvy. So initial videos that they made, it was not up to the mark. So they again had to create them. But the videos that I sent to CCE when we applied, they were amazing, because in the course of the project, they themselves adapted to this new technology, and all the recording part was done on the on their smartphones. Wow. Yes, so that was fantastic. Now the second question, yes, the parents, they, the psychology and all. So the parents, they were told specifically that if they have any questions, they can contact the teachers, or they can text the teacher in the school timing. The school timing was say 9 to 12, so they had to contact in that timing only. And initially it was hectic. It was really hectic, because preparation of videos, they were not used to it. And even the hands-on material also, the craft material also. So it was hectic for the teachers. But once, the whole activity took the momentum, it became really a fun activity for the teachers also, and for the parents also. Initially, they used to call anytime, and then they were given some strict instructions that they are not supposed to call after 12 or something like that. So sure, it was done like that.
Great. You have one more comment and a question. Good case study. This itself was innovative. Can you say that the learning is 100%, or what percent of learning was achieved?
See, at preschool, we don't say 100% and 90% and 80%. The thing is that the student should enjoy. And I will not say 100%, because there will not be any room for the students to groom and the teachers to develop them or inculcate something in them. But I say that since the school conducted the term exam, that time, that is the thing through which we can say that, yes, Yes, most of the students developed. Some students, though they were weak in writing, they needed some more practice. So it was not 100%. All the students, they did not come up with 100% score.
Well, that's okay.
Yes. But I can say that the project was successful because, see, the teachers and even the parents, they were not sure whether teaching can be done and will happen. So the whole activity was something which they never dreamt of it.
Sure.
And just pandemic, it gave them, both the teachers and parents, it gave the opportunity to them to explore their potential. And what should I say? So I can, in brief, I can conclude myself by saying that I cannot say that 100%, but what I feel is whatever answers they wrote in the term and exam, maybe they got less marks, but they have perceived something. And real teaching happened. That is the most positive thing.
And there was something done about, in a circumstances where for some time everybody thought nothing can be done. And from that thought process to achieving so much, especially for teachers to go online and learn the nitty-gritty of WhatsApp also was a big achievement. There is one more question. WhatsApp messages, is it a good approach to follow the comments? If 40 parents are sending the comments at once, the teacher needs to browse through the comments. So how is that achieved? I'm sure you must be getting
it's a very good question, actually.
Yes.
See, WhatsApp is an asynchronous tool, number one. And I don't know whether I told you or not, but the teachers, there are total 8 teachers. So 8 teachers were divided. The students were divided amongst them. And so 40 students and their parents, they never contacted single teacher. So suppose there were 60 students. So sorry, I think 60 students. So 60 students were divided into 8 groups of 8 teachers. So the number of teachers, they used to get the queries from number of parents. So it was not hectic. It was pre-planned and it was well designed. So there was no problem, actually.
So Dr. Shilpa Gauri, that is one more feather on the cap, because this was also planned so well, of dividing the groups, dividing the teachers, dividing the timeline. Super. Thank you. Thank you so much for presenting this with us. And I'm sure you have inspired so many people to do nothing out of something, or something out of nothing. So thank you so much. And thank you for spending this time and explaining and answering all the questions patiently. And it is time to move on to our next segment and invite Sparkle Preschool to present their segment, or ask a segment called as My Creative Preschool. So I warmly welcome Mrinal Joshi and Madhuri. Yes, a very, very warm welcome.
Yes, thank you. Namaste. Myself, Madhuri Harshal Bhalerao, pre-primary class teacher representing Sparkle Pre-Primary School, which is located in Nasik state, Maharashtra, India. Let Mrinal teacher introduce herself. Mrinal teacher?
Yes. Okay. Myself, Mrinal Joshi. I'm working as a class teacher at preschool, Sparkle, Nasik, Maharashtra. I'm not feeling well. Madhuri, you can continue, please. Madhuri?
Yes. Thank you. Please take care. For the first time, I'm attending and presenting via digital media. So happy as well as excited to have a word with you all. It is my immense pleasure to present my paper in this conference, being a newcomer. Please bear with me, and if you find any mistake, please correct me. As we all know that not only us, but the whole world is suffering from the pandemic named COVID-19 in some way or the other. But at the same time, we also received updates on daily basis on the nutrients that will help us to improve our immunity, in which the most essential nutrient is vitamin C. Sharing an example of my junior KG online class, in which the student with full eagerness used to ask me that when will time come like good old days, when we shall again be coming to the school made of bricks and mortar. And I used to smile and say, sooner you have vitamin C in your diet, the sooner you will be fit and healthy to join the school. Then I briefed them about the benefit of vitamin C in the diet. I even discussed about the different ways to intake vitamin C, which may either be from lemon or sweet lime. Important is intake of citrus fruit. Hearing this, even the kids said that as well as our granny tells us the same. This making our discussion really interactive. After that, later to which we had activity every alternate day, like counting of lemon, identify the color of the lemons, then matching the words and the things, then test of the test, and then uses of lemon. Then I told the students that we shall be making lemon sharbat, that is lemon juice actually. If you will tell me the procedure of the same, undoubtedly they did well in that too. So we did make a handsome sharbat. Present seemed enthusiastic too, as I continuously received pics and videos of children doing all these activities in their own sweet way. Henceforth, we will be making students recollect and revise all the verbs and adverbs like kapne, chirne. This is in Marathi. The meaning is cutting. Then dhavalne. This is also in Marathi. That means mixing, etc. Related to the activities mentioned above. It helps to improve their fine motor skill, sensory development, and confidence to be creative. I want to share the video which we make with the help of kids.
Please. How many lemons are complete? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many? 7. What does lemon taste? Chutpatani katta. Do you like it? Yes. Pot. Pot. Monday. Okay. Second one is okay. Third one is good. Backward. Okay.
सक्षम करतोय काय काय वापरायचं हे काय आहे कशी चव्याची कशी चव्याची हे काय आहे कशी चव्याची
हे काय आहे याला इंग्लिश मध्ये काय म्हणतात लेमनचा उपयोग कशामध्ये होतो लोणचं बनते याला भाजी याला शरबत बनते याला भाजी याला लिंबू मध्ये कुठलं विटॅमिन असतं विटॅमिन सी काय करतं
लिंबू सरबत कसं बनवायचं हे सांगणार आहे आणि त्याला लागणारे इंग्रेडियंट्स हे दाखवणार आहे की आपल्याला लिंबू सरबत बनवण्यासाठी कुठले इंग्रेडियंट्स लागणार आहेत वॉटर शुगर मीठ ओके and how to prepare lemon juice कसं बनवायचं आता लिंबू सरबत पहिले पाणी टाकायचं ओके व्हेरी गुड आता पाणी टाकून झालं आता काय करायचं साखर टाकायची साखर किती टाकते तू ओके
Ma'am, I just have a request. The video is breaking up a little bit. So if you can send this to us, we can put it on the YouTube so people can watch it later because we are not able to watch it. And maybe you can take a minute's time to explain what these children are doing.
Okay. I think I have to stop it.
Sure. And you can send the link to us and we will be putting it on YouTube and Facebook. And since what we could see was in Marathi, though we understand Marathi, but take a minute to explain what these children learned and what they were doing. Thank you. You're on mute? Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. In first video, she's a Navya math student. She's counting the lemons and tell us the color. And in second video, that's she's matching things, words with related lemon juice ingredients. In third video, that student Saksham, he's telling us about the taste of the ingredients. And in next video, that Geet, she is telling us the procedure of lemon juice. So I give this activity to whole class, but alternate how I get the videos and photos, I connected some of the students and make this video. So let's move to next. Okay, I think I don't have too much to talk about this. Due to COVID, we all learned different ways to get our work done. Just I did today by delivering on digital platform. Absolutely. But at the same time, I missed the live interaction with my kids, and I really missed it. Their lively expression and most of their cute, innocent look while learning something new every day. They're always going to ask teacher how to do this, teacher what to do this, oh teacher this is tested so yummy, etc. But I really missed it. So this is a small drawback of online education. That's not actually wrong, but I think that's it from me. We must say student can construct their own curriculum. That is the actually beauty of learning. I think I finished. I just said thank you. If you have any suggestions for me, it will be added advantage for my career growth. Thank you to our director, Mr. Mehta sir. Special thanks to our principal ma'am, Mrs. Rashmi Dandekar, my all colleagues and my supportive team. And even thanks to Hiram sir, Shirin ma'am, Dhanika ma'am for giving me this opportunity. Really thanks a lot. It's done.
Thank you so much, Madhuri, and very well done for your first digital presentation. And thank you, Nicole, and thank you, the Sparkle school team. This was a very good way of teaching children how do they need to take care of themselves and talking to them, interacting them, getting the parents involved. So very well done. And we move on to the next school to come and present their presentation on My Creative Preschool. And so put your hands together for Nisha Velasare and Dr. Shilpa Gauri Ganpule, and they are from Sri Sainath Balak Pune. Over to you, ma'am.
Are we visible? Hello? Are we visible?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Let me share my screen with you.
Sure.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, doctor, we can see.
Yeah.
Super.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It gives me immense pleasure once again to present on behalf of Principal Mrs. Nisha Belsare. She's just sitting next to me because the concept, design, and execution of the whole project and the school is run by her, and the project is obviously her design. So let me begin. Parents and schools play a monumental role in a child's holistic development. The unexpected outburst of the pandemic COVID-19 altered the context of human life completely. And in this unprecedented situation, the closure of schools impelled to replace the traditional method of classroom teaching with the online teaching. And teachers, educational institutions, and parents, they have played a big role in this particular pandemic time in ensuring that children's academic year should not be wasted and their education is not disrupted. So both teachers and parents, they are trying to cope up with the challenges of the online education. And the new avatar of teaching learning in this challenging pandemic situation has come up. And it is challenging for the teaching fraternity as well as for the students and parents. So to cope up with this newfangled online teaching system, Shri Sainath Balak Mandir, Chinswad, Pune, India has come up with its Synergy project, which was conducted with the help of the parents. So let's go through the presentation. Yeah, so Shri Sainath Balak Mandir, a couple, Mr. Rajanikanth and Mrs. Nisha Belsare, dreamt of starting a kindergarten school in a sparsely populated village named Chinswad. And Mrs. Nisha, she's a self-made woman who believes that if you love what you're doing, you will be successful. The zealous Mrs. Nisha, after getting the Montessori training from Solapur, started Shri Sainath Balak Mandir on 10 February 1972. The evolution of the school from a small sapling into a colossal banyan tree is indeed stupendous. So in this last, 48 years, the school has indubitably had an upward graph and it has created its own unique position in Pimpri Chinswad area. The meritorious students of the school, they have reached great heights and brought glory to the school with their countless chronicles of success. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So I just now introduce you with Mrs. Nisha Belsare, the principal. She would like to say something.
Namaste. I am Nisha Belsare, the founder and principal of Sri Sainath Balak Mandir, Chinswad. I thank CC Finland for choosing Sri Sainath Balak Mandir in my creative preschool. Dr. Shilpa Gori Prasad Ganpule will speak on my behalf. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. It's an honor to have you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Principal Mrs. Nisha. So I again go to my next slide. So there was a shift in the teaching learning scenario due to the unprecedented pandemic. Up till March 2020, the students, teachers, and parents, they were doing amazing things in the traditional physical school setup of chalk and chalk. However, the unexpected outburst of the pandemic altered the context of human life completely. And in this unprecedented situation, the closure of schools impelled Shri Sainath Balak Mandir to replace the traditional classroom teaching with the online teaching and to develop its own unique teaching strategy. Now, the scope of the project, that is what the school did in this pandemic. Education is a passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare it for today. WhatsApp is an asynchronous tool of teaching and learning they decided to use. And the school chalked out a course of action by using WhatsApp platform. And obviously it was a platform which was very smoothly provided, and it was a free of cost. It gave the free of cost interaction amongst teachers, students, and parents. The project was done through the synergy of teachers, parents, and students. So let's talk about it. Now, what were the topics that were covered in this pandemic time? They are here: recognizing numbers, counting, writing alphabet, words, numbers, speaking, reciting, and craft, drawing, communication skills, acting, self-discipline, self-reliance, physical education, and introduction to basic English. So these were the subjects or topics covered in this particular pandemic time of 4 months. Now, regarding the execution, I have already talked in my previous presentation, so I will not waste my time in presenting it again. But I can say that one small step can lead us to the bright future. And this is what is done by Sri Sainath Balak Mandir by choosing WhatsApp and by continuing the online education through WhatsApp. So one point was missing there. Sainath Balak Mandir, before starting this particular project or program, teaching program on WhatsApp, it did the orientation of the parents. And orientation of the parents was done through a video clip by the principal, Mrs. Nisha Belsare. And in this particular video clip, she oriented the parents. She told them the necessity of the of conducting the lecture, the teaching through WhatsApp, and she also guided them what is going to be the course of action that will be taken by the school and how they are going to do different roles, how they are going to play different roles in that particular process. So it was made clear. Then, as discussed earlier, the parents were divided into groups and specific teachers were appointed, and they were given the responsibility of the child and the parents. And they were specifically told by Mrs. Nisha that the parents have to contact the teacher, the specific teacher who has been allotted to the parent. And this is what was done. And even the feedback mechanism was the best part in the execution of the project, which I never talked earlier. So feedback mechanism was fantastic because every Saturday, obviously by, the school maintained the physical distancing and all, it was meticulously observed. The parents were invited to the school on every Saturday. And they were given specific time slots. And in these time slots, the parents visited the school. So feedback of the progress of the student was, physically in person given to them, number one. And in this particular Saturday visit, the second thing was done was giving the craft material or the assignment work or the cyclostyle or Xerox copies, whatever the teachers they were planning to do in the next week, they were given to the parents in these Saturday visits. So that was amazing. Now, there is a last point is activities for parents. So this was also not discussed earlier. I'll just discuss it because later on we'll be talking mainly about the innovative activities carried out throughout this particular pandemic time. So there were 3-4 activities which was conducted for the parents, and they were amazing. The first one was the school. I told you that orientation program was conducted. Second was parents forum was created on WhatsApp. And in this particular forum, even the teachers, that is parents forum, it gave them the, platform to share their views, or even they could put up some videos or share their experiences with other parents. And even the teachers were there to monitor everything. So that was amazing. And the third thing was, a competition for parents. It was organized. And the topic was the role of parents in the holistic development of a child. That was a topic given for essay writing competition. And, out of 60, I think 52 parents participated in the competition. And that is the amazing thing in the whole thing. Okay. So we'll just shift to the next slide. Now, I would like to mainly talk about the innovative activities that were conducted by the school, obviously with the help of the WhatsApp platform. Now, assignments. They were given different sorts of assignments. And the assignments, they were through these, the school designed the assignments. And in order to make the learning exciting and appealing for the students. The assignments were diverse and focusing on the augmentation and development of different skills. So enhancement of creative thinking through hands-on activities. I will not be talking too much because I have got limited time, but I would like to say a few words about it. The students were made to prepare garlands from green peas, puffed rice, puffed jowar, and they had to be careful with the needle. They had to concentrate. The students enjoyed this activity. Then model making, collage making, coloring the pictures, paper craft. It enhanced their creative and thinking skills. And then, they were even encouraged to do some scientific experiments. And these experiments, the students enjoyed them to the fullest. In one of the experiments, the teachers demonstrated the experiments first, and then she encouraged them to do under the guidance of the parents. The experiment of how the candle needs air to remain ignited was enjoyed by the students. The second experiment was the experiment of floating on the water. It taught the students to differentiate between the material that floats on water and that which does not float on the water. Then there was an experiment, that is how they were asked to sow seeds and observe the growth of plants. In this experiment, the students understood how the plants grow from seed to fruits. So in the fourth experiment, they were taught to recognize different metals. So this is how, it was made very interesting. So these were the assignments. Model making, that was the fun thing for the students, because in model making, they made the model with clay and even the wheat flour, I suppose. I think with the dough, they made the idols of Sri Ganesh. And then problem solving strategy, I'll just tell you one instance of this, that the students were asked to pick out the rice grains, and they were, there were a handful of wheat grain, and the 5-6 rice grains were mixed in that with the wheat grain, and they were just asked to pick out the rice grain. Then when the different utensils were arranged so as to make a pyramid, because I told you that most of the students, they come from a low, income group section. So they had to do something with the help of the things that they have at home. Okay, and the last thing that I want to say in this particular thing is that developing work culture among students. And the students, they were asked to do household jobs like separating peanuts from groundnuts. They were asked to break the groundnuts. Then the students were asked to clean a room. Then they learned how to squeeze the cloth. Then they were asked to insert the pillow inside a pillow cover. This activity would test their concentration. And then so many things were done. They were taught to fold clothes. And that's all. And then personal hygiene and cleanliness, that was also the first and major criterion. And that was looked after by the school. The students had to cut the nails every Sunday and to show their hands to the teacher on Monday. They were asked to brush their teeth every day. They were asked to clean their nose, etc. I'll not go on this. And, they were taught to finish eating the food served to them in the dish, etc. And then importance of exercise. They were taught the basic exercises and were made to do 5 Surya Namaskar every day in the morning. And they were told that a healthy body makes a healthy mind. And the parents were asked to send a video clip once in a while to check the exercise. Then I have already talked about the, soft skills and all. So one thing I just wanted to say about competitions. The school organized different competitions in these 4 months. There were recitation competitions, storytelling, solo dance, mono acting, model making, sticking competition, collage making, drawing, paper craft. So these competitions, they were organized to imbibe the sportive spirit amongst the students. And obviously it enhanced their confidence level, it enhanced their interest and augmented their creative thinking. They were introduced with the Indian culture. That is, they were taught some simple hymns which were to be recited at their homes at the time of Ganesh festival. Then I also told that they were encouraged to make the Ganesh idols. Then Nag Panchami is a festival. India is a land of festivals, basically. So festival Cobras is very famous. So Cobras help farmers in protecting their crop and harvest. So it was told to the students that how farmers are valuable, because India is having basically an agrarian society. And the teachers demonstrated the students how to make a cobra with a paper. And the festival of Nagapanchami celebrated, it was celebrated in a unique way. And they were also sensitized about the preservation of animals and reptiles in order to make the ecosystem strong. And
yes, very nice. So
that's all. I'll just come to the last slide. So benefits of the stakeholders. Is it okay if I take 1 minute more?
Yeah, 1 minute is okay, and then let's.
Thank you so much. So the benefits of the project to the stakeholders, students got the quality time of parents and the skills were enhanced. Teachers, they explored the new tool of teaching and they got the opportunity to use their creativity. And parents, they got the quality time of children and they got the opportunity to participate in the holistic development of the kids. Now, the last thing, before pandemic, it was chalk and talk method. Now, during pandemic, the school is using WhatsApp platform. And after post-pandemic, a new avatar will come. They will not, it will be online, WhatsApp, then chalk and talk, everything will be together. So the main purpose of conducting this teaching learning activity through WhatsApp by Sri Sainath Balak Mandir was the holistic development of students. And that's the ultimate destination of the school. And I think that the school has achieved its goal to a large extent. So thank you very much. And let's keep collaborating. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Firstly, they have not achieved, they have exceeded and by far gone beyond the goal of teaching, learning, and imbibing good skills. I mean, who would have thought inserting pillow in the cover and getting their nails cut and showing them to the teacher would also form a kind of a discipline in them. So thank you, Dr. Shilpa Gauri, and it is an honor to have you with us. Thank you so much for presenting this case, and I'm sure you have encouraged so many schools, and you have the vision to go post-pandemic also. Super. Thank you very, very, very much. And we will look once again for audience questions, comments. I am seeing that there are a lot of positive comments for Sparkle School as well. Very well done. And to your school also. And ma'am, Nisha, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much. And before we wrap up, let's look how we are going to stay connected. So, of course, you have the website address. I'm sure you have subscribed to our YouTube and Facebook by now. We have a lot of upcoming events. We, in addition to our extremely wonderful courses, we have one-day certification programs, weekend certification programs, and monthly webinars. And these topics are the ones that are sought out most about online training, stress management, blended learning in early childhood education, problem solving, and also about the webinars, what are the 5 critical areas in early childhood curriculum. So do watch out this space. We will be putting all the details on our website. And as always, CC is with you every step of the way, and they will do everything they can to help you do your best work in ECE. So I thank you. I thank each one of you for your time, because that's the most valuable commodity that we can spend today, even more than money. So thank you for your valuable time, staying with us for all 3 days. And I thank all our participants, all our presenters right from the day one. Yes, Hiram sir, I see you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. And now I take this opportunity to thank all the organizing team members of this conference. So we have, first of all, we have Simran, you are the main person who are taking the lead, and it's a great working together with you. Thank you very much for your contribution, hard work, and taking the things forward. Along with that, you were in the front, but the real lady behind the screen was Sheetal. Sheetal, well done. So along with Sheetal, and we have a lot of people with the S, starting with Simran and Sheetal and Shamika and Shirin. So it's too much of S actually. So Sheetal was there. Sheetal, well done. I guess she was very persistent in giving the responses to everyone. Great one. Again, one more. Shamika, all the collaterals. Sorry, Sheetal, just can you say namaste or hello?
Hello everyone. Namaste.
Exactly. So your video will be there actually on the screen, and also we had all these collaterals as far as the all the presentations, website updation, communications part was done by Shamika. Shamika, well done. to say hello, please?
Yes.
I guess you're a
Hello.
good one. Now,
Yeah.
so along with that, and as well as we had our Savarkar ma'am, who were the kind of organizing everything together, making the things possible, and working 24 hours. I guess that's her one single line description. Thank you, Dhanika ma'am. And then,
ధన్యవాదాలు and
then
thank
we
you.
had
and for all the
Shirin.
members.
Shirin, please welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you so much, Shirin.
Very good. And other than that, we had our Christoph was in our team, Milla was in our team, and then Dr. Sathe was also in our team. So great working together with everyone together. And in this part specifically, our preschool teacher, Tim Davis, thanks for your exciting presentation and looking forward to have the eSISU preschool demo classes. It's an amazing concept altogether. It's a very active learning experience remotely with the help of parents, so that we can be able to engage our kids very positively. And along with that, we have Sparkle Schools and everyone together with the Vidya Balak Mandir, with the Chinswad and ma'am, everyone. Thank you very much for your contribution, and we are looking forward for the future conferences. Thank you.
And let's thank the captain of the ship, Hiram sir. We look forward for more events and more things. So till we see our audience next time, very much love to all of you, each one of you. Keep doing the great work that you are doing in ECE, and do keep us informed. What is your innovation? You have our email ID. Sending us your videos, even though we don't have any conferences or anything. Just keep sending us what your good work is. You don't know who you will inspire. So this is a wrap from all of us, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for joining us from any part of the globe. Thank you. Bye-bye.